Tucker Carlson is out at Fox News, and if you watched the announcement this morning on the network, you would think they were at a funeral.
We have some news from within our Fox family. Fox News Media and Tucker Carlson have mutually agreed to part ways. Tucker's last show was this past Friday. And starting tonight, Fox News Tonight will air live at 8 p.m. Eastern. It will be an interim show with rotating Fox News personalities until a new host is named. We want to thank Tucker Carlson for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a long-term contributor.
Now, of course, Tucker Carlson didn't see this coming over the weekend because on Friday, he ended his show by stuffing his face with pizza, saying, "We'll be back on Monday."
So I am, as you can likely tell, a pizza aficionado. I was a pizza delivery boy for 2 years.
Is it warm at all?
Yeah, it's totally warm. These warmers are just like one of the great wonders of science. And this is sausage.
That's sausage
and pineapple. And really quick, as a pizza professional, do you look down on this order? Is this?
I do. I think that I consider a criminal.
I knew you did. I used to deliver pizzas and calzones. I considered them immoral, but I delivered them anyway.
It's actually still hot. It's actually still hot. All the way from
It's
Philly.
so good. It's unbelievable. And you are a hero. How's your leg, by the way? Your leg was injured by the the car thief.
It's got a bone bruise on it. Down here.
Oh, damn, I can see it.
Yeah, it's not too bad, though.
Were your family and friends impressed by what you did?
They were. They're actually here with me today.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go, once I've stuffed myself on your pineapple and sausage, and you're right, it is a disgusting order, but I have no shame. I'm going to go meet Oh, there they are! We just thought, what a great way to end a week.
Yeah.
Truly, that was a great segment, and I'm just grateful that you came on, and I'm especially grateful for the pie.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Employee of the week, we're just make it of the year, Tyler Morrell of Coco's Pizza. That's it for us for the week. We'll be back. By the way, the entire episode of Let Them Eat Bugs, not quite as good as pizza, streaming now on Fox Nation. Use the promo code ORIGINALS for 30 days free. And we'll be back on Monday. In the meantime, have the best weekend with the ones that you love, and we'll see you then.
So why was Tucker Carlson fired? Was it because he spread white nationalist talking points on air? Was it because he spread conspiracy theories that made his audience more afraid of their fellow Americans? No, it was because Dominion filed a lawsuit against Fox News in which Tucker Carlson's text messages became public and revealed that he had criticized Fox executives and made the network look bad. Do the executives understand how much credibility and trust we've lost with our audience? Those efforts are destroying our credibility. A combination of incompetent liberals and top leadership with too much pride to back down is what's happening. If you were to look at those text messages from Tucker Carlson, you would think, wow, he really sticks to his guns. But in the following months, other text messages revealed that he's really beholden to the mega morons that he's hyped up so much over the years. Carlson said, "I'm not going to follow the reckless demagogues for Trump." Then he did exactly that by questioning the outcome of the election on air.
Normal people are becoming paranoid. Americans who love this country are beginning to fear it. Why? We know exactly why. Because shutting down legitimate discourse and inquiry always has that effect. It destroys social trust, and it sets the table for awful things to come. So let's stop this right now. Slow down. No hasty calls. Our system works. It has worked before. If people air concerns, resolve the concerns. Don't call them names. Don't sweep those concerns under the rug. Don't shut it down artificially with unelected news anchors. Let our system work.
Carlson in text messages said he hated the idea of talking about election fraud, but then found out that his audience didn't like the fact that he wasn't talking about it, so he went on air the next day and lied to them, saying that he had been working on the story of voter fraud in the past few weeks since the election.
So was there voter fraud last week? That's a question we've been working on since election night. We've tried to be careful and precise as we report this out. In moments like this, truth really matters more than ever. False allegations of fraud can cause as much damage as the fraud itself. Jussie Smollett hurt more people with his lies than any actual hate crime. And the last thing America needs right now is more damage. So we want to be accurate. What we're about to tell you is accurate. It's not a theory. It happened, and we can prove it. Other news organizations could prove it too. They've simply chosen not to. The position of corporate media across the country this week has been very simple. There was no voter fraud.
In text messages, Carlson knew that Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell's infamous hair dye press conference was a complete dumpster fire. But the next day, he went on air to spread their lies.
They have not seen Powell's evidence either. No testimony from employees inside the software companies, no damning internal documents, no copies of the software itself. So that's where we are. Sidney Powell came on Fox this morning and suggested we may not have to wait much longer. I fully expect, she says, that we will be able to prove all of it in a court within the next 2 weeks. Well, as far as we're concerned, that is great news. If Sidney Powell can prove the technology companies switched millions of votes and stole a presidential election, she will have almost single-handedly uncovered the greatest crime in the history of this country, and no one will be more grateful for that than us.
Tucker Carlson called Donald Trump the great destroyer and then went on air to defend Donald Trump's call to Georgia Secretary of State Raffensperger, in which Donald Trump pleaded for Raffensperger to find him the votes to win.
The president, as you may have heard, believes the election was stolen from him. Georgia's Secretary of State, whose job it is to oversee elections, disagrees. You can listen to the call yourself. It's online, and you can make up your own mind about who's right on that question. And by the way, if you have time, you ought to do that. It's interesting. But no matter what you conclude about vote counting in Georgia, we are willing to bet that you won't decide Donald Trump's latest phone call is the single most important thing happening in the world right now. Probably not even close. And yet CNN is claiming that it is. Why are they doing that? Well, that's a good question and worth pondering. Do you notice a theme here? Manipulation, maybe? Ignore the details. Don't ask questions. Here's the latest outrage. Take the bait. Get mad about it, Trump's phone call in this case, and move on. Write a grouchy Instagram post if you want. But whatever you do, do not think for yourself, because once you start doing that, you might not stop.
The folks who are celebrating Tucker Carlson leaving Fox News have an absolute right to do that. But I will urge that we all kind of come back down to earth rather quickly, because we know that the Fox News executives didn't have a come to Jesus moment where they're now going to replace Tucker Carlson with someone more reasonable and down the center. No, Fox News's viewers are still the wasp's nest of hate, racism, and fear that they thrive on. So Fox executives are going to need to replace Tucker Carlson with someone who can still appeal to them, just this time without the embarrassing text messages.